Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Parshas Emor. There's a pasuk in this week's parsha that's very much connected to the times that we are now. It's the pasuk that tells us about Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. As the pasuk says, "Usfartem lachem mimachras haShabbos." You start counting from after Shabbos, meaning to say from after the holiday of Pesach. Miyoyim aviachem is omer tnufa sheva Shabbos tmimis tiyana should be 7 full complete weeks. 7 times 7 is 49. We count 49, and on the 50th night, that's Shavuos. Okay? So, in this mitzvah, there's a very interesting concept over here. On one hand, you have to count every night. Sheva Shabbos, you have to have 7 full weeks. 7 full weeks of counting, it's 49 full days. The other, and in every night, you count, you make a bracha, and that's how you're able to take the next one. You need to have every single one. On the other hand, if you forgot, so that's it, you're stuck. Can't continue now because you don't have the previous day. You have to have 4 to say 5. You have to have 5 to say 6. You have to have money in the bank from the days before to be able to continue. However, even though you cannot continue with a bracha, you still have those individual days that you did count in the bracha. You would say that perhaps because you need, each one is connected to the other. So maybe the first 7 days or 10 days or 20 days that you counted, it's a bracha levatala. It's a bracha in vain because you did not continue. So you kind of, even what you have is missing. So that is not true. That is the truth. The truth of the matter is, every day is independent. It has its mitzvah. But to be able to continue, you cannot continue if you don't have the days before that. This is something we see also in our personal lives, that everybody, in one hand, we all have our own identity. We all need to have our own place that we can excel and express ourselves, and to have that place where we feel that we are very unique. On the other hand, we need to have friends. If you can have everything you want in life, you don't have a good friend, you don't have a chevra, you don't have an environment, you're a little out of it. You need to have both. This is something that, in a sense, was the challenge of the students of Rabbi Akiva, that they had, on one hand, they had a tremendous ahava for each other, they had a love, but they didn't have a kavod, didn't have an honor, didn't have proper honor for each other. So there's a story of a woman that she became religious, and she got married, she started having a family, and she decided one Shabbos she wants to invite one of her friends that's not yet religious to see what a religious home looks like. So she invites her friend, and somehow during the meal there became a little bit of a disagreement between her and her husband, and they had to discuss it. It wasn't a simple thing. They had to discuss it. There was a serious situation going on. So they excuse themselves from the table, and they go down to a couple of rooms down or whatever it is. They start having a nice heated debate. And after a good 20, 30, half-hour minutes, whatever it is, they come back and they see that she's sitting at a table, sipping her tea, and she heard everything. Everything. Oh boy, this is such a disaster. We tried to invite her that she should see what a Shabbos table looks like. She gets to see what a fight looks like. This is like not exactly what we were expecting to have her to walk away with. After Shabbos, she tells them she was very, very impressed with the whole discussion. That even though each one was very heated and each one had a very, very important part to say that was totally opposite, but they both gave cover to each other. It was all a very, very, very special way how they gave honor to each other, gave room. So that, in a sense, had more effect than anything else. That's the idea of having covet, that even though you don't agree, but you could still give respect. Another quick story is, there was once a very wealthy man. He was, in the morning, he had to go get himself a nice breakfast or lunch or whatever it is. And he went through a drive-through. This is in Florida. And on the way, it's a narrow road. You get in, once you start that drive, there's nowhere to go. And his car stopped. The motor stopped. So he's trying to start it again. The guy behind is going crazy. He's fifing the food. He needs his food. You're kidding me? You stop right here. You break down over here. He's coming out screaming this, that, you idiot. Anyway, finally the guy he's already almost beating the car already. Anyway, the guy gets it started, goes to the ordering window, he orders. He says, I'm giving you another, $50 or whatever it is for the next guy. because he most probably has a really bad day. If he's cursing me out like that, most probably he's going through a real parsha. Something's really bad. Okay. The next guy shows up to the window. They tell him, you have on the house, whatever you want, you can take us on the house. He says, well, what happened? Tell him the guy in front of you wants to thank you for all the cursing and everything that you did. Most probably you're having a really bad day, so he wants to help you. So the guy says, okay, wow, he's very impressed. Took him a couple of minutes to process this. He takes out his credit card and he says, I want to pay for the next guy. So when you mechabit somebody, when you honor somebody, that's the way you can really tap into somebody and you can connect to somebody. Hashem Shalom, we should be inspired. We should love each other. We should be mechabit. We should give honor to one another. And we should be zoiche to the ultimate time of the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Amen.